If you play Dungeons & Dragons, or really any tabletop game, you should know the secret to creating great puzzles and mysteries, and it's actually really easy. So let me give you an example from a campaign I ran a couple of years ago. In this campaign, my party was trying to make it to the center of this city. The center of the city was a clock tower. The clock tower was about the size of a skyscraper, and in that clock tower was the big bad, the Lord of Blades, and his encampment. Before the players got to this clock tower, they would have to make it through the city. This city was ruined and was influenced by all the different planes of this world. So that means the elemental plane of fire, air, the nine hells. They would have to go through that, and that was kind of the puzzle that they would have to solve, is maneuvering through this city. Well, my party stumbled upon an elemental plane of air patch of the city pretty early on, and instead of walking through the city like my brain thought they were going to do and how I had planned this encounter, instead they made gliders and used the air to glide over the city and land on top of the clock tower, in which they then dropped the barbarian with a bunch of buffs on him, along with some of the items on top of the clock tower, onto the encampment down below, absolutely destroying that encounter. And I learned something very important that day. The best puzzles in D&D, or really any tabletop game, are the puzzles that you don't have an answer to as a dungeon master. Those puzzles are going to be answered 100% by your players, and they are going to come up with the greatest story. Collaborative answers are much better than the answer that you've come up with. It's just the truth. So that's really the secret to great puzzles. Write the puzzle, write the question, but don't have the answer. Your parties will figure it out on their own, and it will be a great story, you know?